Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas. And today I have with me Tolga Tezel. I hope that I got halfway close to the right pronunciation for your last
That was
name.
pretty spot on, yeah.
Perfect. Founder and CEO at Canopy Connect. So Tolga, first of all, thank you for joining me today. If I'm not mistaken, we were introduced by the one and only broker, Brett. So thank you, Brett, for the introduction. We always give the guest a chance to do the elevator pitch. So what exactly is Canopy Connect?
Sure, and first of all, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, Tommy. Really great to be chatting with you today. But yeah, what Canopy Connect is in a nutshell is the easiest and fastest way for consumers to share their insurance information with a business that needs to know their insurance information. And so just like you can link your bank account to apps like Venmo or PayPal, we've built that same kind of experience that enables consumers to link their online insurance account and their insurance data with a business that they want to share that data with. So it works just the same way. You know, you select your carrier, you log in, and your data goes to the business that you wanted to share your information with, and that's what we do in a nutshell.
Okay, so you make a very good point that I had never thought about before, and I'm not having the reaction that I had the first time because we had a conversation before coming on the podcast. So I had heard the pitch before, but when I first heard the pitch, I did go like, good point, right? Like why can I, easily join my bank account into Quicken or Mint or 1,000 other tools, but not my insurance stuff, right? So why was that not a thing before? So I can definitely see the utility of it. So how did the idea come up?
Yeah, well, so I actually built something kind of analogous to what we're building at Canopy Connect, but in the credit industry at a different startup. So before starting Canopy Connect, I was helping consumers share their international credit information so that they could get fair access to credit if they didn't have a large enough credit history in the United States. It was kind of analogous in the sense that, we were making it really easy for the consumer to share their data with the business and help the consumer get better financial outcomes as a result of that. To me, that work was really inspiring and really I got to see firsthand the power of like the power that you can have to help people financially if you can enable them to easily and quickly share their critical information with a business that needs that information to understand them and work with them. And so I just fell in love with consumer permission data through a result of that work, because I was seeing that we were helping people get fair credit and fair terms on their loans, credit cards, not getting rejected from an apartment that they wanted to move into. And so to me, I fell in love with that concept of helping people unlock their data so that they can get a benefit out of it. And then I randomly found out that this was a problem in the insurance industry through talking with an independent insurance agency owner. She was telling me that she was having a really hard time getting new customers because she's asking them over the phone or over email their insurance details that they just don't know the answers to. People don't know their premiums, limits, deductibles. They don't know what coverages they have. They don't know what their VIN number is. They don't know what their annual mileage is. They may or may not remember their accident history. Regardless of, like, the common thing with insurance is that you're seeing is that you need dozens of data points to understand the consumer to be able to serve them, whether that means quoting them for a better insurance policy that serves their purposes or addressing a coverage gap that they have. But either way, you need to be able to understand the consumer, and that requires asking them dozens of questions that they don't have the answers to. And so she was telling me that people were just telling her, I don't have time for this right now. I'll get back to you later. Or you know, like just otherwise just not getting through the flow. And she wasn't able to acquire them quickly as customers. So she had started driving to their houses. She would drive to her clients' houses one by one and show them how to log into their own online insurance account, because the information that she needed, the current carrier had. And she was able to show people how to log into their accounts and download their declarations pages and the other information that they needed. And so I realized, like, okay, what she was doing was basically a manual version of this like bank account linking stuff that's already very common in the financial industry, right? So I started thinking, wow, what she's manually doing is, you know, this like log in to your insurance carrier type of thing, in the same way that already bank login and bank data sharing had already been done. So I started thinking, like, maybe there's an opportunity here to build that for the insurance industry. If you can link your bank account to an application like Venmo or PayPal, why can't you link your insurance account to another application or share that data with an insurance agent that you're talking to, right? It should be possible. And that's kind of how it started. So it started by working directly with agency owners and proving out the technology. You know, we had to prove that people have online insurance accounts, people are willing to log in, people are able to remember their login. And so we proved that out with agencies. And then from there, we started working with other types of companies as well.
So the comparison with banking is interesting, but my bank doesn't care what software I use to or what website or whatever, as long as it's secure. I use to look at my account and my history. The problem on the insurance side is that the reason I want to look at it is to quote it on one of your competitors, right? So you're making it easier for a competitor to steal the business. So yeah, for the agent or broker, absolutely, this is a win, right? And before I'm skipping a question before we go into the carrier side. So for the agents, what does it look like? So basically, I sign up with Canopy Connect. The next person that wants a quote, how do I get them on your system?
Totally, yeah. So we have a number of ways to use it, but we've made it possible, and we have an API and integrations and all these kinds of things. But we wanted to make it dead simple to use, to the point where you can sign up and start using it within 30 seconds to start receiving information. And so what we did, the way it works is, once you sign up, you have a dashboard and you have links, and you can just customize your link and send that out in a text message or an email, or embed it on your website or mobile application. Easiest way is to just take the link and like copy and paste it into a text message and send it to somebody who you're trying to work with. Then they go through Canopy Connect. They select their insurance carrier, log in, and then you receive their information within a few seconds. And so that's the experience for getting started for an agency or a business. From there, we have a really mature and well built out API and integrations. And so you can do things like embed it in an application or a website, and make it behave the way that you want to provide the kind of experience you want for your clients. But yeah, most straightforward way, as soon as you sign up, you can just send out a link that we generate for you to start collecting people's information. So
okay,
that's how
perfect.
it works.
So easy for the agent, easy for the ultimate customer. What's the revenue model? Who pays for the service?
Sure. Yeah. So our customers pay per successful what we call data pull. So when somebody logs in with their carrier and sends their information to a particular customer, we'll charge for that. And we only charge for successful connections as well. For us, like, I think when you're probably, I mean, this is true of all companies, but for me, like, we only charge for successful connections because for us, like, it's all about helping businesses. If we're able to do that, helping businesses and consumers, if we're able to do that, then and make them successful, then we'll be successful as well. And so we've structured it that way.
Yeah, and I think for the agents, assuming it's priced properly, from their perspective,
Yeah.
right? It saved me 20 minutes of asking the customer questions. It saved me from the possibility of the customer going like, I'll call you back, or I'll get back to you, right? And it gives me a more accurate quote, so I don't have to go through the whole, oh, I told you it was X, but it's actually X plus 150 per year because we had this one detail wrong, right? So it takes a lot of headache out of the agency side. So yeah, I think it sells itself. But what about the carriers? Why would the carriers play along to something that makes it easy for them to be shopped against?
Sure. Yeah. And so firstly, I would say it's the infrastructure that we're building is quite broad. So it's not just about insurance shopping. What we're fundamentally doing, if you kind of zoom out, is we're building the ability to automate consumer permission data transactions within insurance. So a consumer is expressing, I want to share my data with a specific business, right? And by logging in with my carrier, I'm able to quickly do that. That's what we've historically focused on. But where the kind of infrastructure that we're building is deeper than that, in the sense that we can also automate away servicing actions that are just manual and tedious and non-revenue generating. So things like changing a vehicle on a policy, or changing the lien holder on a homeowner's policy after you refinance your home, adding vehicles to a policy, adding, making policy changes of different sorts. So we can automate all those types of things. And the key thing to understand here is that these processes are happening today all over the place, but just in a really inefficient way, right? Like we are purely an infrastructure provider. We do not sell insurance. We will never sell insurance. We're there to make it really easy for the consumer to do what they already wanted to do with their data, and they were already gonna do with their data, right? So in that sense, we're not like encouraging shopping that wasn't already gonna occur or anything like that. By the time a consumer is already using Canopy Connect, if they're shopping, they're already shopping, right? And so that's why I think it's actually a beneficial component in the system, or in the ecosystem across the board, because like from the carrier perspective, there's servicing costs that go with all of these things that we're automating away, right? And then it also provides the ability for carriers that adopt us to be able to drastically improve their conversion. Our funnel converts far better than the typical insurance form where you're asking dozens of questions, right? Like those just don't convert well at all, because people don't know the answers to these questions, and they hate clicking around and typing in dozens of inputs. People just get frustrated. So by making it easier to do something that the consumer is already going to do, we make the consumer's life easier, and we help the business perform more efficiently. So it saves businesses, like a typical agency today, spending like a third of their time just collecting information over the phone, right? Like we all know, like, there's so many agents who they're spending their days on the phone with customers, asking them questions, writing down answers in a notebook, writing that information from the notebook into their CRM, into their agency management system. There's like tons of double entry, duplicate entry, errors and omissions along the way. We just get rid of all that by making it easy for the consumer to share their information with the business, and then it can connect into your AMS, it can connect into your CRM, into your rater, etc. And so it just makes these things all a lot more efficient.
Okay. What is the minimum level of technology that the agency needs to be at to be able to bring you on? So I'm
Yeah.
guessing that like if you've got filing cabinets and so do you have to have an AMS, or like
No,
what's
no,
the entry point that I
and
need to
we,
be ready at?
I'm really inspired by companies that make things dead simple and straightforward, even if they're technical and not straightforward under the hood. And that's the kind of business that we wanted to build. We're trying to build a business that enables from small players to large players to be able to provide a best-in-class experience to their customers. So you don't need to know anything about like APIs or technology really to use our platform. It's as easy as I was saying before, right? So you just sign up, and then we generate right off the bat a link for you for your business that you can just send in a text message. So if you can send a text message or an email, or click a link, like that's all you need to know.
Okay,
um,
so even if you're managing your agency out of an Excel file,
oh, absolutely, yeah. I
if
mean,
email is part of it, this can work for you.
technically you don't even need email to use it, but yeah, I mean, we wanted to make something that was dead simple to use and really, really straightforward to start getting value out of, because I think a really important thing for any business, but again, it's probably especially startups, is to deliver value to their customers as quickly as possible. So like as soon as you sign up with us, you already have a link that you can send out to one of your prospects or even your current clients, and then you can receive their information to start working with them right away. So there's no wait at all. It's all ready to go. From there, you can connect it to your AMS, you can connect it to your CRM. We have Zapier integrations and all those kinds of things, but you don't need to use that to be able to get up and running. Because we're working with like larger companies, but we're also working with single person scratch agencies, some of whom haven't even opened their doors yet. So like we really want to be able to serve the broad market there, and not be a product that you have to be super technical to be able to use.
Okay. Any great success stories? Specific, you don't have to say the names, but specific brokerages that have seen just radical success in their coding efforts?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And definitely, like if people check out our website, they'll be able to see some of the logos that use us. Probably some of those will be familiar to you guys. We have partnerships with, like, for instance, we're SIA's preferred vendor.
That's huge. Huge. Yeah.
But we're working with a bunch of really great agencies. Some of those logos are on our site. In terms of success stories, we hear things like customers telling us that we improve their close ratio by 60 or 70%, which is amazing. We hear a lot of sort of different, because we work with so many different types of businesses, there's a lot of different ways in which they'll find success. We have some customers who are using us to not only verify insurance, but also sell insurance. And so they can get even more use out of the product. So think if you're, if you're like a lender or something like that, you need to verify insurance during a refinancing or a new purchase, you could do so, and you can sell insurance at the same time. And one of the interesting benefits that you can unlock with Canopy Connect that's been kind of, that we didn't initially realize off the bat, but that's turned out to be really exciting, is that we really create cross-sell opportunities that weren't there before. Because our data is showing that when consumers connect their insurance information to you through Canopy Connect, they come through with on average 2.4 policies. And so most of the time when somebody's trying to work with somebody on their insurance, they're usually looking to get one line of business first, and then maybe like a month later, go after like an upsell, cross-sell.
Way to do it.
Yeah, but the other important thing about 2.4 is that that's also telling you that this person's already got a bundle, right? So if you're looking to beat what they have, you're likely going to want to present a bundled offer yourself. So and because we get, when we connect to the carrier, we're able to get all of the P&C data. So auto, home, umbrella, condo, renters, boat, earthquake, flood, etc. And so we create that opportunity for a cross sell right off the bat, which wasn't which just isn't standard today. It's not the status quo. But yeah, I mean, like a lot of different types of, sorry, my Apple Watch is talking to me. I think I might have said something that sounded like Siri for a second.
No worries.
Yeah, I mean, we'll hear things like customers sign up and then put it on their put our widget on their website, and then they make a few $1,000s overnight, you know, like those kinds of things. We priced our product like pretty dead cheap, and we have a 14-day free trial just so that, because especially in the early days, a lot of what we had to kind of go through was people not believing that we could even do what we said we were doing. And so, I mean, I still remember there's this one email that is in my inbox where I had this whole back and forth with this person that refused to get on a demo call with me. I was like, I can show you, you can try it out yourself with your own information. And he's just like, look, I just don't believe you. I'm sure, I think you're lying. Like, couldn't convince him to get on a call. Now that we have a lot of, like, you know, we have, you know, over 1,000 customers now, and thousands of agents and other types of users using our platform. So we have a lot more, it's a lot less around like people don't believe us anymore, but just like understanding how they can adopt it and use it.
Yeah, my reaction when you first explained it was great idea, and the carriers won't play along, and basically you'll have to scrape the data from the systems, and there's thousands of carriers, so it's too difficult to do, basically. so I completely get the
it's definitely difficult, but you know, like I said, I really love the concept of helping consumers get value and convenience out of their own information, and that's what we're here to do. And what we find is that when you make it as easy as possible for the consumer, that helps you grow as a business, in the sense that we help our customers grow because it's the easiest thing for the consumer. And I know, like, I mean, the data is showing us this, but it's also just, I mean, if you think about your own experience, I won't speak for you, but like just speaking for myself, when I did my last round of insurance shopping, I was like, people were sending me either a spreadsheet or like an email with a bunch of questions to answer, or get on a phone call and ask me all these questions. It would have been so much easier to just like link my account and log in.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and like myself and my girlfriend are both insurance professionals. She's a licensed agent. I'm not, but we're both CPCUs. We're both insurance professionals. It's been 2 years of the pandemic, and for a few months before that, maybe a year and a half before that, we were already driving very little because we're both remote, and basically we have not actually changed our auto insurance. We have the same auto insurance from when I was commuting 21 miles a day each way. We could definitely save money, but it's such a painful process to re-enter all the information that we've just been ignoring it, right? So yes, it absolutely makes perfect sense to me. And I love the approach. I've got to say that I love the consumer first approach. As an industry, we have to learn that we historically have been product first, product focused, and then we fit the product, or we try to fit the consumer into the product rather than the other way around. So consumer first, and then since I'm basically B2B, or since you're basically B2B, I love the approach of whatever I can do to help the agents succeed, will succeed with them. So just beautifully handled. So awesome. When this goes live, I will tag you on LinkedIn, and also I'll include the link to the company. And for the listeners, as you heard, 14-day free trial. Ultimately, it's priced in a way that makes sense even for small agencies, by the use, and 14-day free trial. And what was like 70% higher close rate? Is that what you've seen?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's probably the biggest impact for our customers. And it's funny because like we used to talk mostly about the time savings, which are substantial because you spend agents spend like a third of their time collecting information.
Yeah.
But the close, our customers were telling us, hey, you should talk more about how you're improving our close ratios, because that's very attractive.
Yeah, no, that's a huge deal for them. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Tolga, thank you so much for joining me today. I think that this is a really good one for our agent and broker listeners. And I look forward. I know that you guys are very young as a company. I look forward to see you guys continue to grow.
Thank you, Tony. And yeah, hopefully, with your help on the hiring side, we'll be able to continue growing our team here. We're also hiring for anybody listening. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it.